Rajendranji has put me in a better situation, and I will say that Indian cement industry is quite mature, and they are taking all corrective actions on the path of decarbonization. They are each and every plant, because we are interacting with them day and night. Each and every plant of India, they are very eager to take any step so that they can reduce the carbon footprint, they can improve their energy efficiency. By saying so, I will go back slightly, almost a decade back, when India was on the verge of, Indian cement industry was on the verge of making its first roadmap. So the technology roadmap was drafted after a lot of consultation. We had the issues of getting the number right. We did not have the correct informations, but still we prepared the draft and it was launched. And the 5 main levers which still today are valid. The biggest one was clinker factor, reduction of clinker factor. India is blessed with cementitious materials, so that was one of the biggest biggest factor which can contribute for the decarbonization. Improving energy efficiencies, WHR systems, and novel technologies. So what we are discussing today, that CCUS or CCU, is basically those novel technologies which are taking the birth now. Indian cement industry is, and if you compare, they have implemented roadmap, and when we analyzed in 2017, we found that considerable amount of specific CO2 emission as compared to the figure in 1996, which was close to 1.12 tons of CO2 per ton of cement, is reduced in the year 2017 to almost 0.67 tons of CO2 per ton of cement. It was a huge achievement, and these were the factors which I highlighted contributed for that. If you see on the government side, Indian government is quite committed. Don't go long back, just go to COP26, where India, our Honorable Prime Minister, presented 5 nectar elements to the world, and which has almost increased climate targets to achieve by 2030. Out of 5, 4 targets were to be achieved by 2030. And as Madam said, some of them are already on the verge of, they will be achieved before time. And the one also included net zero by 2070. These commitments were again reiterated in COP27 at Egypt, and where India presented a long-term low carbon emission policy strategies, which articulated our action plans of the industry and how this will be accomplished over a period of time. So when we talk about the long-term strategies, this included our own BE's PAT scheme, perform, achieve and trade. It has come out very well. It has almost completed 2 sales, if I'm not wrong, and the results are wonderful. Beside that, the green hydrogen, which is being talked about, no doubt it is a solution. Then we are talking about electrification of most of the processes of cement manufacturing, or maybe in other sectors, maybe in steel, direct electrification of the processes to the extent possible. And again, the recycling and recycling leading to circularity in operation. Here, one thing is very important to understand. Dr. Mathur in the morning said that sandboxes definitely will help. But there is a need for out of the box. One more box is there. And you have to think out of the box, because if I see the Indian context, we have limited raw material resources. So any technology development cycle will have long bearing on the availability of materials. As Rajendranji said, there is a need to use decarbonated materials, use those materials which do not emit carbon dioxide. Is it possible? Is it available? So those things need to be done. But whatever it is, we have limited resources of limestone in the country. So that is also need to be kept in mind while moving in these directions. The issue of CCUS definitely is, as far as India is concerned, we are in the beginning, and probably we need some pilot scale trials to be shown here, to be demonstrated to the industry for the confidence development. For that, definitely we need climate financing and maybe international collaboration which can come up with convenient international collaboration so that that technology can come. And definitely that is the future. Without CCU and S, it will not be possible to achieve the net zero carbon emissions in our operations. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are many things which contribute directly or indirectly. There is talk about logistics. When we talk about the financial aspect of it, our cement people will agree that it is a very high cost. Around 30% or so is the logistic cost. But it needs to be estimated when we can optimize the logistic movement of materials, whether it will have direct, indirect impact on the decarbonization. It will have. So, considering that aspect also, Government of India has started large-scale consultation with all the stakeholders, particularly cement industry in India. What are the logistic issues, how it can be optimized, how other routes of transportation can be utilized. And I think Mr. Rajnath ji will support me because recently they have done a wonderful thing. They have utilized sea route for transportation of a huge amount of material. So, in the coastal area of the country. So, those options need to be exercised. And lastly, I will say that what is good of a newly born baby? You have to nurture it, you have to give proper foods and proper conditions so that he or she becomes a good citizen. Lastly, I will say that what is good of a newly born baby? You have to nurture it, you have to give proper foods and proper conditions so that he or she becomes a good citizen of the country. So it is true for any technology because we are the technology people. Any technology, it needs to be matured, it needs to be understood, and it needs to be made useful for the society. And today when we talk about society, it is the global society. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.